Nothing?
I don't hear anything.
Wait, hang on.
See it.
Try it now.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Turn volume
Down.
Almost.
Down more.
Testing.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Testing one. Okay.
Junior high not making any damn.
Some names.
My last name is Du Bois, and I get Dubos, and
Dubois.
yeah, it's supposed to be Dubois. But, I tell them I'll answer to anything but dubious. I've had people call me Mr. Dubious. No, sorry. And there's no restroom close by, is there?
It's right below us.
Okay. My cold's breaking up, but the nose still runs a little bit.
You are streaming just for the record. It's muted, but you're on.
Oh, the kids need music.
Are you doing just PA or you're doing scoreboard too?
I plan on just doing PA.
Okay. There's a scoreboard thing here. I didn't know if we had someone else doing that.
I don't think we have it for
I
this
do
year.
that at my high school where I have to be the spotter, the PA, and the scoreboard all.
Oh wow.
And when I started it 6 years ago, there was 3 of us, and it kept dwindling to 1, and they never got anybody else.
It's on. It's right now. We're streaming.
Yep.
Where's that?
YouTube. It's also on. It's supposed to be on the like Twitter NUC Sports Facebook page, but I saw it on YouTube.
Oh, I see it. Okay. That makes me like to.
Oh, that's weird. That's my footage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I zoom in and you gotta wait, what, 40 seconds?
Yeah, it's delayed.
Doesn't that screw you up?
No, I just want to make sure we have something to
Oh,
know
okay.
whether or not we're
Yeah.
so I can tell like what the comments coming in. So Vince, people can comment on this YouTube live.
I think they comment on Facebook. I feel like that's what it was last year.
Oh, I can hear us. Audio. Oh.
No.
Is the elevator work?
Do you wanna, Chuck? Do you wanna mute us?
You?
Yeah, just for now until the game starts.
Alright, I'm not familiar with this equipment. You want me to just shut it off?
No, that's okay.
Do it.
That's okay. Just the guitar.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Maybe it was YouTube. I think it was the Facebook page.
Actually, I thought that thing might have a place to plug an aux cord in, but it doesn't.
What do you need it for?
Oh, a lot of the football music we used at our home field was stuff that was loaded on my phone.
Oh, I see.
I was just I know how quiet it can get on the field.
Trying to make things better.
Yeah.
Got rid of this streaming thing.
Are all 3 games going to be on YouTube?
Yes. Yep. And Facebook. And Facebook. Yep.
Yeah. Mostly just football, or they do basketball.
Sport, NUC Sports.
Last year we did the American Youth Football for Kissimmee. And Image Productions, I think, did it, and they called me back this year. And they lost it, but they got that one in Plant City. And I went down there for a week in early December. No, it's not American Youth Football, but it's Youth Football something.
Is that like another showcase like this?
Hmm?
Is that like another showcase like this?
Not really, because they had kids from like 8 up to
Oh.
junior high. They had 100 and some teams there. Yeah, did 20 some games. In a week. Then we came back and went to Vegas for 4 days. Then we came back and took the family to Virginia for a week, and that's where I got the cold. This was a hectic December.
Virginia, gotcha.
Oh yeah, it was chilly up there.
Where are you originally from?
Originally, I was born in the Bronx.
Oh.
And I was raised in a place called Poughkeepsie. It's about 70 miles north of New York City. But I've been down here for, got stationed in 1964 in Mayport. And started making friends in Daytona and just decided to go back to New York. Haven't regretted it.
Makes sense, yeah. I was gonna say. Thanks for the I was born in New York.
Could see.
You have good visibility.
Huh?
Visibility. You're good.
Yeah, I'm fine.
The restroom gets you. I think it's what the chair. You said the restroom's 1 floor down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right below us.
You just be sure I'll get set up. I left the rosters with the updated numbers and the ticket boxes. Can you grab those for me? Which box? The tickets right where we came in at. Yes, sir.
Chuck.
I have cash in my pocket. Yeah, I have cash in the case. Jake. Yeah, I have some cash on that. All right.
It was location. If they're great, if they're in middle school, you just can't do location.
Yeah. Hey Vince,
Yep.
I'm sending you the updated rosters as soon as Jake gets back up here.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if anybody's got a
Yeah.
roster.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you here in just a second.
Okay.
And then we'll hotspot too, you said, right?
Yep, I got the hotspot right here, buddy.
Awesome.
Does he have a hotspot?
Who?
No.
Do you
No,
have
no, 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 no. The
Nope.
streamer.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, because Jake said he was already streaming.
It is streaming, yeah.
Oh, so he must have a hotspot.
Yeah, I guess so. Let me see what. YSR?
No, it's ellipsis.
Ellipsis jetpack.
Yes, sir. Let me know when you're ready for the password.
I'm ready.
B, it's all lowercase. BCC 16172.
Perfect. Thank you.
He scares me every time I sit in it, doesn't it?
Seriously.
Hey, come grab this one, dude. This one's awesome. Hey, Mitch.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna be streaming up here too. Studios up, so we're gonna be streaming up here. Let's see.
Hey, you scoreboard?
Well, Mitch is in charge of all the refs.
Oh yeah.
He's in charge of everything. Hey, how do you guys want this sorted, Vince? You want it by last name or by number?
Number would be great.
Number, perfect. That's
Yep.
what I did.
Awesome.
Awesome. What's up?
Didn't see the internet password.
I got it.
Yeah, just tell her it's $100. Tell her to give you the $100. Has to be in cash, or if she wants to do card, it has to be later. And but just tell her to get it before she.
That sound good.
If I go down, one of you guys
Okay,
guys
I'll
step
be
in.
down in a minute.
Alright.
Okay. All right, buddy. Sounds good. All right.
Other chairs in the last room.
Yeah, buddy.
That's alright.
I'm on the first box. I'll be there in a minute.
I think I got it.
course you get some free. All right, buddy. Bye. Yes, sir. Hey.
We need one more guy to help with the chains. Anybody
Yeah, what's up?
interested? No? No, you're a player. You want to help with the chains?
Yeah.
I'm coming.
I already got it.
We need somebody.
I already got it. Yes, sir. $100. I got you.
Hey, we got you.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Young guy.
Those are sent.
Oh, you got it. Nice.
Sent to you too, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm good right now.
So, hey Jake, you got the hotspot? You got the plug for
It's
it?
right there. Yeah, somewhere around here.
Make sure you got it because it'll drain quickly with all this going through. So, all right, I'm heading down now. Mitch, you good? Yeah. Listen, you're the man, fellas. I appreciate you.
Thanks a lot.
Autumn water constantly coming up. Do you need anything, sir?
No.
All right, woman, stripper, no?
Yes, between games, maybe? Sure.
I'm gonna shut this door.
Makes sense. Jake, you want to start?
You can start like the welcome,
Yeah.
You want me
and
to start
then have
recording?
Andy start. Have Mr. Rice start too. Go back.
You want me to start recording too?
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. Waiting. Waiting for the teams.
Just wait till they get on the field, and then we'll go.
Okay.
Control how long that takes. Yeah.
Let's go one
Okay.
team.
You don't control the live stream, right? You don't control the live stream. This has nothing to do with you, right?
No.
Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this morning's contest for the NUC All-American Middle School North versus South. Now for the rosters. First for the South, Solomon Locke, Daquan Bryan, Keyshawn Davila, Ladarius Smith, Quentin Solomon, Jackson Strickland, Riley Trujillo, James Boggs, Raphael Scroggins, Tyree Neverson, Billy Hendricks, Dakota Bowen, Cole Simeon, Connor Frick, Brandon Burnham, Houston Thomas, Herbert Scroggins, Joseph Stover, and Makila Tuciano. And now for the North, Sincere Thomas, Adam Philogene, DeJuan Samuels, Jonathan Cabral, Ethan Sloan, Parker Bell, Devin Hansting, Corey Weber, Bo Talavas, David Stout, Chandler Myers, Tyrone Tolliver, Michael Mankaka, Jordan Thompson, Devin Lively, Tim Wallace, Ethan Holt. please direct your attention to midfield for Captain Salt.
And we're live from New Smyrna Beach Sportsplex for the NUC Sports High School Football Showcase. I am Vince Mercandetti alongside Jake Schwartz back here for a second year, this time from New Smyrna. Last year it was in Daytona Beach. And Jake, welcome back. We have another North versus South showdown here today.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I gotta tell you, Vince, on the way over here, it was a little foggy outside today. There was, the clouds were out, so it was kind of giving me a nice aura of there's going to be some intense football played here today. But it looks like to be getting a little bit nicer out, and I'm excited for these young men to take the field and see what they can do.
The weather was certainly not optimal for a picnic this morning. It's always optimal for football, and it does look like the weather is clearing up a little bit. We're still a little overcast, a little cloudy. But obviously the conditions are perfectly fine for the games today. And speaking of those games today, we are starting here with the 11 a.m. game. That's going to feature 7th, 8th, and 9th graders from across the country, of course, separated by North and South states. And then we will have after that at 2:30 our middle game, the junior showdown. That's going to be exclusively juniors, same thing from around the country, North versus South. And then finally the senior game is tonight, 7 p.m. under the lights. That is the same thing, North versus South once more. So that's how the games will be separated today. There are 3 of them, and we're starting off with the youngest first. Jake, what do you have as far as what to expect from this game?
Well, I gotta say overall, now the NUC Sports Classic, it's besides the classic approach by the people who put on this event, we've had some famous names come from these games. Marcus Mariota, who's looking to get into the playoffs tonight with the Tennessee Titans, and we have Johnny Manziel, very famous football player. So look for some intense football, look for some great talent, look for some future stars out there.
And we will be bringing you the NFL scores throughout the day. Obviously, it's Sunday, football being played all around the country in general. But here we start with the North. First play from scrimmage, a pass to number 8 that is caught. It is going to be a gain of about 5 and a gang tackle by the South to start off second and around 5 coming up.
Well, Parker Bell saw his life flash before his eyes there as the oncoming defender almost took him out of the stadium. But he's able to get the ball out and get it out to Ethan Sloan, number 8, for a quick couple of yards.
North in the huddle here. South already has the line of scrimmage. And if you were here for the pre-games as well, it seems to be a trend. North very deliberate in discussion and game planning. Not to say South isn't, but they seem to always be ready for anything right up front. And we will put that to the test here. 2nd and 5, out of the shotgun. Going through the procedures. Quarterback back on 1. It looks like we might have either an encroachment or a false start.
Well, James Boggs, who normally plays wide receivers in, they are looking to blitz the quarterback. Got a little too jumpy and across the line there.
On the defense.
Parker Bell is the starting quarterback for North. He is featured right now, number 10, behind center for Northside starting out. Typically of these showcases, you'll see quarterbacks cycle in and out, wide receivers, really all different positions depending on how many players they have for the rosters. So if the quarterback changes, we'll obviously let you know as well. But for now, it is Parker Bell, and it is a 1st and 10 as that encroachment brought it back to a first down. Handoff number 6, that's going to be a short gain there, a gain of about 3. Should set up a 2nd and 7.
DeJuan Samuels on the carry there. He also plays on the line there, so he's a big boy taking that ball up the center, and it took a few players to stop him there.
3-yard gain, 2nd down.
Listed as a defensive lineman, he is a running back here today. You'll see that a lot as well. Again, depending on the rosters, these middle school rosters and freshmen are on the smaller side as far as the amount of people you'll see on both teams. So they're going to be playing a lot of positions, being very versatile today. You'll see that kind of throughout this one. Back into the shotgun here, 2nd and 7. Bell, another handoff. And again,
it goes.
Parker Bell, he gets the edge. Nice defense by South. They're going to force a 3rd down here Almost got to the edge and broke loose, but the speed of the defense on South able to force a third down.
Keyshawn Davila following the play there on the defense. He's able to make the stop, but I gotta say, that was quite the impressive run by Samuels, taking it the outside. He saw the defenders pushing in through the middle, bounced it out to the left, able to make a nice carry there for a couple of extra yards.
Pretty decent showing considering it's an 11 a.m. game. Again, the players are from different states, so a lot of their parents will make it out, obviously. We do have some random people who will show up as well, but pretty decent showing considering it's an 11 a.m. game and it's in a different state for a lot of these people. 3rd and 2 upcoming. They have a running back there with the quarterback. It's a fake handoff, it's a pass, and it is broken up. Great play by number 17 on the south side to break that up, and we have a 4th down upcoming.
Oh, Billy Hendricks got in there, is able to make the defensive stop. Quarterback had his eyes focused on the receiver for the first down, but Billy Hendricks said, no, not getting through today.
Hendricks listed as a linebacker. He played like one there. He is a freshman. And another, as mentioned, a nice play. 3rd and 2, not a bad play call by the North, but an even better defensive play. And it looks like they are going to go for it here. They have
interesting formation. Check this out.
A quarterback lined up outside and a different quarterback in. We'll see what they have here. It is a draw play from number 6, and it's not going to work. He is going to be stood off. It was an interesting attempt by Juan Samuels, but he gets brought down behind line of scrimmage. Turnover on down south as they go around the 31 of the north side.
Well, the name is Boggs, James Boggs, and Boggs got through there and just blew up the play. Not a chance for a first down, and just like that, the South's going to take over on offense. Very nice play by that young man.
James Boggs, as you might have guessed, is a listed wide receiver who made a great defensive play there. They're going to push the ball back, it looks like, to the 38. So
interesting so far. A lot of running by the north side there. Curious to see what the south side does.
South coming in, looks like it is Riley Trujillo starting off as the quarterback, number 11. He's on the younger side, appears to be a 7th grader. And he's going to start with a handoff, number 4. He's going to run to the outside, going to get to the edge, but he came to play.
Brian. Now, on my sheet, his entire last name is capitalized, and I think that's why, because of plays like that, put his head down and just stuffed through the defender. Nice run by Brian, number 4.
Yeah, those Madden hit stick, if you ever played Madden video games, that was the offensive version of it. He just drove straight in, head first, and gave a bruising to the North defense there, but a nice play nevertheless. It's going to be a 2nd and 7, pickup of 3. And we have another handoff on motion, number 1. He's going to try and get to the outside, finds a hole. Another hole. Great run there by number 1 on the south. That was Keyshawn Davila. Just finding holes and picks up a first down.
Wow, Keyshawn Davila, look at those nifty moves up the center. And what's really impressive about that is normally you got to be patient, you got to wait a little bit for your blocks to carry through. He accelerated through his blocks and still found holes and weaved and ducked and dived and got his way in for a nice first down. Incredible run.
Good point. About 3 or 4 broken tackles on that one. Gets his team closer. They're now at the 25-yard line. We have a 1st and 10. Now to the shotgun once again is Riley Trujillo. And he's going to put Keyshawn Davila in motion. This time it's a passing play. It's going to go far left. Number 12. It is up in the air and it is incomplete. Tried to make the play a lengthy attempts there from James Boggs. He is a tall player, but he could not come up with it. Nice defense by number 22 on the north.
Well, Devin Hanstein, who's about half his size, was able to get up and make the defensive block there to prevent him from possibly getting to that ball. Really impressive from the safety or cornerback. I think I'm going to say cornerback on that play, so good job by the defender there.
Do you go back to that exact same play?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I throw it right back there. I think the quarterback underthrew it a little bit. But.
Yep, yeah, I think the play was right there. We'll see if they can execute it the second time around, if that is what they choose to do. And he is back in shotgun. You have 4 wide from the south, and now you once again have Davila in motion.
You might be right here, Vince.
He's going to go to the left, not a deep pass, but number 12 nevertheless makes the catch. He's going to have a lot of yards here. That's a first down. He's going to get inside the 10. Still on his feet. He's a big boy, and he's brought down at the 6. It took about 3 or 4 attempts to bring him down.
Pass completed.
Wow, James Boggs, he is so far been a superb athlete from the south here on offense. Caught that ball, is looking to see it gain any ground. He had his eyes laser focused on the end zone. Could not get there, but gets his team a first down. And in fact, the defender from the north side had to come all the way over from the opposite side of the field to make that tackle.
James Boggs, as we mentioned, one of those wide receivers. He's tall, he's lengthy, he's got a big wingspan. It's gonna, I think the South's gonna try and put that to use today. Here's a handoff up the middle, and not too much there from number 24 on the south side. That was
Handoff to
Kyrie
number
Neverson,
24,
and
and
it's gonna
stacked
set
up
up
by
a
3
second
north
down.
players.
So Kyrie Neverson on the run there. You might have remembered Samuels on the north. He was the running back. He was able to get in there and make the stop, preventing the touchdown there.
Should be a 2nd and goal here from the 5. That's what the South's going to face. North defense trying to keep them out of the end zone, of course.
Really impressed with this offense so far from the south.
Under center, no shotgun here, but 3 back. And it looks like a false start on the South. Might back them up a little
Before
bit.
the play. False start on the offense. 5
That
yard
is indeed
penalty.
the call, so we're going to have a
Gonna be
second down from the
goal
10.
from the 10 now.
Well, the races, what the offense was doing there to get in good position. They're still about 10 yards out, a little bit deeper now to get to the end zone.
This opens up probably a passing play, but we'll find out here. 3 back again, once again under center, 11 on the run. He's going to throw it a little low, and I don't think he caught it. Not a great throw on the run. Good thought from Trujillo, but his attempt looks like it is short.
That's complete.
Well, Jackson Strickland made a nice grab, but unfortunately it really doesn't do much for them. They might have gotten a yard out of the play. So you're still looking at 3rd and long out for the South offense here.
Credit to Strickland. That was a tough catch to make. The throw was low, as I mentioned. He made a diving catch. It is a gain of 1. So 3rd down from the 9. And it's going to be a toss play to the left. He's got a little bit of space. Number 4.
Oh, nice
move there. He's trying to come back right. Still on his feet. But he's going to be brought down, it looks like, finally. That was a really good attempt. He was starting out left, tried to go right. And North makes a nice play to
Also
stop it.
2 on the play.
Wow, Zaquan Bryant really is just trying to get in the end zone there. He made about 6 people miss all that work for a loss of a yard. And he was dragging Devin Hanstein around for a while there on the other side of the field. But hey, credit to Devin there because he stuck with the play, made the tackle, and prevented the touchdown.
Very aggressive play there by North. I mean, they had, as you mentioned, he was dragging a couple of defenders around with him on that play, but they were able to stop it long enough to get help, and that's the value of teamwork there. And it's going to be a 4th down from the 11. If I'm not mistaken, in the middle school games, there are no special teams, so I think you automatically go for it. Out of the shotgun here is Trujillo. So 4th down from the 11, runner in motion. And it's a passing play to the right. It is a fade, and it's off the fingertips there. A nice throw, nice attempt. Unable to come down with it is Houston Thomas, number 19. And that is a turnover down, so North with a nice goal line stand there.
You know, I gotta say, they didn't make the completion there, so they're gonna turn the ball over on downs. The North will get the ball back, but there's a lot of potential here, and I like what I'm seeing so far. The South is mixing it up between running and passing. There they tried for a nice fade to the corner end zone. The wide receiver got up, got a hand on it, but was out of bounds. So I'm really excited to see what we're gonna see later today here with the amount of crazy plays going on.
You know, we mentioned this last year, and it's worth noting again. These coaches and players only have the weekend together, so generally the players will arrive either Friday night or maybe Saturday. They'll have a couple of practices, and that's it. So the playbooks are generally abbreviated. They're usually not, terribly creative, only because they don't have that much time to gel as a team. These are, as mentioned, these are players from, all over the region, sometimes all over the country. So the fact that of what we saw in variety from the South playbook there is pretty impressive, considering it was their opening drive, and they've only been together a couple of days.
not just the variety, but the fluidity. I mean, the players were running crisp routes. Everyone seemed to be on the same page. There was one false start call. I feel like that's going to happen with any new offense. But they still were running the right routes and executing. They had a lot of men in motion, and like you said, Vince, it's really impressive given only a few days to work on stuff.
They certainly look very well coached early on. North, of course, no disrespect to them, they make the stops. They have the ball here, deep in their own territory. They're starting from their own 11. And we have a shotgun play, a quick handoff, trying to go inside to number 2, it looked like, and he is brutally brought down there. South hits hard. That's a gain of maybe a yard, probably going to be 2nd and 10.
Well, Sincere Thomas not met with some sincere tackling there, as the South was charging in and was not going to let that run go through. The North has got to get some passing offense going here if they're going to be looking to drive the ball down the field. I mean, they're all the way back at their own 14-yard line, 86 yards to go. Got to get the ball in the air.
The attempt is always to open up the field. So far, they have not been able to do that. It's been a lot of runs up the middle, which have not worked, and the attempts to throw on the outside have also not worked well. The North wide receivers seem to be on the shorter end. It does look like 14. I keep an eye on him, and he's actually getting the ball here on the screen pass. He's a little bit taller, and he's going to try and get to the outside. But good defense and a fumble there, picked up by number 6 on the North. So no turnover, but a late fumble there, and we'll see where they mark it. I'm not sure if they were marking him down or if it was a fumble recovered by the North anyway. And it looks like they're going to mark him down at the 14.
Well, it's a good thing Ethan Sloan was nearby because that ball is about to be turned right back over to the South. Ethan Sloan noticed the fumble, jumped on it. North will keep the ball, and still got 3rd and long to go here.
He was the only one over there.
Yeah.
So fortunate bounce, although it looks like by the yardage, I don't think they considered that the fumble. It's going to be a 3rd and 8 from the 14. And we'll see what North has here. Out of the shotgun, running back right next to him, it's going to be a passing play from number 10, and that is an easy interception. That ball is lobbed in the air. Number 3 on the South going to recover it. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. That's a pick 6 by Solomon Locke, the defensive back. And the South scores first, and they do it with their defense.
Well, he was locked in on that pass. That was a rainbow throw by the quarterback there, and Solomon Locke comes up with it and speeds off to the end zone. Man, he's got some wheels on him.
Quick acceleration. Parker Bell trying to make something happen out of the backfield there. South wasn't really biting, even though there was a running back in the backfield, not on 3rd and 8. A little bit of shuffled feet, tries to throw one to the outside, and didn't get it far enough. And just waiting there is Locke. He makes a nice interception, and as you mentioned, the quick speed to get into the end zone. South strikes first. They go for 2, or they go for the extra point here, and it's number 11 handing off close. And it looks like with forward progress, he might have gotten in. Now they're saying no good. So he did not get in. It's going to remain 6-0.
Well, going back to the previous play there, 3rd and 8, you got a ton of field ahead of you, run's not working, and you do a play action fake. Okay, so a play action fake on zone coverage is not going to work, and that's just why the defense there's about 3 defenders in the area that could have picked that ball off. So unfortunately, tough play there. Didn't catch a break for the North, but the South capitalizes on it. Weren't able to get in for 2, but they're up 6-0 really quick here.
And those are the adjustments you'll see throughout the game that make these games so interesting. As mentioned, it's players from all different programs, all different coaching staffs, and you see what works and what doesn't. First quarter,
going to be 1st and 10
from the seconds left
for the North
largely
from the
is
25.
experimental. And that didn't work. So now you know going forward, South's not going to bite on play actions on 3rd and long, and they're going to have to figure out some other approach here. But early on, South defense looking very strong. They have not allowed much, and now they have a touchdown to show for it, and it's 6-0 here. As we mentioned, late in the first quarter, North's going to start from the 25.
All right, well, Parker Bell out there saying, "Don't judge me by my mistakes, but how I rebound to them." Let's see if he can lead this offense down the field.
Bell out of the shotgun's going to fake a handoff. That's a much better faked handoff. He's going to take it himself, get to about 31. That should be a pick of 6, and it should set up a 2nd and 4.
All right, Cole Semien on the tackle there. Pretty good job. I got to say, the offensive line there did a good job getting that hole for Bell. Devin Lively leading the way there. He's able to stuff a few defenders on the way to give Bell that nice little up the middle squeak, and just like that, they got 6 yards.
That was a much crisper, as we mentioned, play action there.
Second down.
Allowed a bit of a hole there for the run. So we'll see if North can build off of that. First quarter winding down. I'm not sure they're going to get a playoff here before it expires. And it doesn't look like they will. So they're just going to head to the sidelines. End of the first quarter. And after 1 quarter of play, it is South 6, North 0.
Well, they ran the ball on first down.
That's
They
the
did
end
a
of the
play
first.
action on first down. That works,
After
right?
1
Because
quarter play,
you're
South
opening
6,
up for, you're
North
expecting
0.
runs on first or second down. So, nice little play there. They need to continue to do things like that if they want to take the momentum away in this game.
And I was going to say, what sort of adjustments, now that we said the first quarter, like we said, is largely experimental, what sort of adjustments do you see each side making to play better going forward?
Well, I think the North definitely needs to figure out their defensive strategy here. Man coverage is just not going to work on the South. They have really big receivers. They have a running back that can easily accelerate. So they're going to have to start probably switching to some zone coverage to cover the gaps. North, we'll see. I mean, if they can continue to call the right plays on the right downs and get Bell some coverage in the backfield, I mean, the offensive line's been struggling a little bit today, which has pressured him to make some questionable throws. If they can get some good offensive blocking there and give them some time back there, I mean, we could be talking about a much closer game and a much better back and forth.
For those of you listening, we are live on YouTube. We are Facebook Live now on the NUC Sports Facebook page. If you haven't liked them yet, please go do so. Gaining some listeners here as time goes on, and the weather seems to be warming up, both figuratively and literally, to this game. As it is, it's getting hotter here, feeling more like Florida as we head into the high 70s, low 80s.
Well, sometimes you need to switch sides to get momentum too. So keep in mind as the quarter ends, they're going to switch. So the North will go the opposite way here, and maybe that's just the momentum booster they need.
Do you think it's? I mean, it has to be a little weird for North, right? I mean, some of these players, they're not from Minnesota or anything, but it has to be weird playing late December and you're playing in 80 degrees. I don't think it's going to be a huge factor one way or another, but it has to be a tough adjustment.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a handoff.
Wow.
And he's going to get to the outside. This nice run by number 7 on the North. He has a first down and more. Going to get almost to midfield. This is going to be stopped at 46. Nice play for North as they start off the second quarter.
Well, where was this guy? Where's Jonathan Cabral?
Getting it all the way.
Unreal. Nice play up the middle. Finally, they got some offensive block in there. Cabral's able to capitalize on it. And it looks like he's got some moves there. So they get the ball back to him. He breaks 1 or 2 tackles. You're talking about a 50-yard scamper.
As we mentioned, Cabral, one of those players who might get cycled in. We haven't seen all of the talent from either roster. These are, like we mentioned, very small rosters for this middle school game. You're going to see a lot bigger rosters later in the day, but Cabral, an example, someone who can come in and change the tide rather quickly, and we would have no idea until he's on the field. So here we go. First down again from the 47. Shotgun here, empty backfield, 4-5 wide, and tends to go to inside pass there, number 8, and nice little gain there, short of a first down, but pick up
9-yard gain.
Sloan channeling as Julian Edelman there. Nice button hook design. The defender was stopped in his tracks. He thought they were going far, but it was a button hook turnaround, 8-yard pickup, and here we go. North is rolling.
That was a play straight out of the Patriots playbook. You see that all the time from Tom Brady.
I don't mind
it. You have a kind of a hook from the inner 2 receivers, the outside distractions going deep, and you have an empty backfield, so you have no idea where the ball's going. Nice design there by the North. Nice execution. Pick up with 8, and that's a fast defense and a big defense like this on the South. That's what you're gonna have to do to get the yards. You have to figure out these quick plays. Pick up little chunks of yardage. You may not be able to beat them deep, but you can beat them on the interior, and that's what North seems to be adjusting to here in the second quarter. It's a handoff, and it's going to be number 7. He's going to try and get through a hole, and just to take up.
Number 7 on the carry, and that's enough.
Cabral is patient, follows his blockers. Now I want to circle someone. Tyron Tolliver. That left side, if you've noticed, in the last 10 minutes, has been really good. It had a lot of room to run there, and Tolliver has been the man, along with Devin Lively, kind of putting that pressure on the left side to give the running back some room to run. If they can keep pushing up, I mean, you're going to be looking at a lot of nice runs.
And that is one good point. You have some triple and double XLs on the north side. That's on that offensive line. We're literally going by a jersey. But
Let the big
they've
boys
got some
lead the
big
way.
boys. Yeah, exactly. So if you can open up a hole there, that could really open up, as we mentioned earlier, that can open up your playbook, open up your offense if you can start establishing the running game. 10 to the outside, screen pass number 8 again, and not too much again. You try and beat the south to the edge, and it's not always going to work. They're very fast. Pick up about
Gain of
2.
only a yard.
Well, that's fine.
Second
Nice.
down and
Take a couple of yards on
9.
first down, but what I like here is Parker Bell is hitting a nice rhythm. I think he's 4 of his last 4 for passing right now, and he's smooth. He's looking good. He's getting time in the pocket. He's able to make good decisions. He's hitting his receivers right on the button, and as long as they keep making, they can make those short throws. They got the running game working for them.
That previous short run was a first down. This is a gain of 1, so it's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 40 as they are in South territory for the first time, I believe, with the offense. Out of the shotgun, 1 running back. You have 3 wide, trips bunch on the lower end. That's going to be a fake handoff. It's not going to
I
work.
think that's a blown play call there.
That was I agree, a blown play there. South all over. It's going to be a sack on Parker Bell.
Well, and you alluded to earlier, Vince, that they only have a couple days to kind of get on the same page of playbooks. Any play action fake play or audible, the quarterback at the line calling all sorts of plays out, so you have to pay attention. Looked like there was a little bit of confusion between Cabral there. I think he assumed it was play action. Parker Bell was like, no, it's a run. Take the ball. Take it. It's yours. He did it, and that results in a 5-yard loss.
No one wanted the ball there. So that's
Hot potato.
Live and learn. Third, this is going to set up a 3rd and 14. Hopefully someone wants the ball here. And out of the shotgun, same formation, trips bunch, lower end. You have 1 running back, and this play is going to be blown dead.
Timeout.
Looks like it might be a timeout on the south side. Maybe seeing something in the
Timeout
formation
from the
they don't
south.
like. And it is
Their
timeout
first
on the
timeout.
south. That's their first timeout. 5:51 remaining here in the second quarter. 3rd and 14 upcoming for the North.
Yeah, I want to kind of circle someone else here. Sincere Thomas, they've been splitting him out to the left a lot, and he's got man coverage. He's got some height on him. I would like to see a nice little slant over the middle here and let him try to pick up the rest of the yards, see if they can get the first down. And if they can, I would go downfield. I'd see what Parker Bell's arm's made of it and kind of put it in the hands of Thomas.
These are the sorts of things we'll try and convey as the game goes on, because as we mentioned, part of what happens when you cycle in and out talent on rosters as frequently is you see different matchups and you see different advantages and possible disadvantages to exploit, and we'll see if the coaches do that as well. So that's one thing to look for. 3rd and 14, your big offensive lineman probably not going to be too much of a factor here, although maybe Parker can get a throw deep here, or they'll go conservative. We'll find out. 3rd and 14, he's out of the shotgun, and he's going to bobble the snap, and it's going to be a handoff. Pretty good yardage there. Not enough for a first down, but you'll get back into South territory and break across the 40 here for a 4th down.
Well, it's very interesting in these types of games too, Vince, because I think because you can't punt, it gives a lot of incentive to the offense to juggle things up on 3rd down. And so they went for a run there. Not a favorable play call in my opinion, but Cabral's able to make something out of nothing and get them a couple of yards back. So now if Parker Bell, he can kind of hit one of his receivers on a nice out route, they can probably pick up the first down with 9 yards instead of 15.
You have to consider 3rd down almost like 2nd down in a normal playbook, because they're definitely going for it on 4th down. So now you have 4th and 9. That was officially a pickup of 5 to the 40, and they're going to go with a fake handoff pass.
Whoa!
This number 19 on the south, he's going to be coming down the sideline, breaks across midfield. He's taken down right there, right about the 49 and a half. Intercepted number 19, 2nd interception by the north side, and South takes over. Houston Thomas with the pick.
Houston, Parker Bell, we have a problem. And he just read that play from the get-go. That was incredible coverage by Houston Thomas. It looked like Parker Bell had his man number 14 out on the right side, and the safety from out of nowhere with the leaping grab takes it downfield. And that's the type of play that you're going to see here today is from players like Houston Thomas, who just know you read the quarterback. Just keep your eyes on the quarterback, and you will be okay.
And Parker Bell there, very similar to the first interception. He was trying to throw deep to the corner and just couldn't get it there. Now, part of that is because South, as we mentioned earlier, has a very big secondary. They've got tall, lengthy guys back there. Sometimes what you think is going to get past them isn't. And part of it, too, is that, Parker just misses passes there. But, that's nothing on him. This South defense, very, as we mentioned, they're going to be tough to score on. They're going to be tough to move the ball against. And North learning that the hard way as they have 2 turnovers here in the first half.
Well, the positives you can take away if you're the North here, you're able to move the ball, you're able to get some rhythm going. If you can keep that rhythm going and get the ball back here, you're only down 6. It's not far away at all. You'll be okay. If you're the South, you're running it up. I would go right back to Houston Thomas here and just throw deep to him and let him take it the rest of the way and score a quick 6.
I think you have to be aggressive here, I agree. If you're the South, you want to kind of change this momentum. You have the momentum. You can fully take over this game with another score here, especially the way North struggled to score early on here. Watch 19 on the lower end. 19 is very big and has a very big size mismatch on the lower end. You have 8 in motion. It's a shotgun play, so we're assuming a pass.
Looks like zone.
And it is a pass. He's looking at 19. That's his first man. He's trying to go deep. It's a little pass to him.
Wow.
And that is a first down at the 28. We saw the mismatch from the line of scrimmage. And that's exactly what the South had in mind. First down, nice gain there.
Trujillo saw him. He wanted him the whole way. And, man, you know what I like about that? That's a beautiful pass play, and that was on the run. What you do as a quarterback, your man's not open, well, let me run out a little bit and take advantage of the fact that I'm a little fast, bring the defense in to try and tackle you. Now the wide receiver's open. Pass the ball over. 19's got it. Houston Thomas, that's a great first down pickup.
And Houston Thomas, as you had called earlier. So South, nothing too unpredictable here. They have their matchups and they're trying to exploit them. That's handoff number 4. He's going to get to the outside. That's a broken tackle. That's a second broken tackle, but a nice play by the North. Particularly number 7 making that tackle behind line of scrimmage is going to be a loss.
Well, Bo Talavas, number 33, actually came up from the linebacker position and stuck with the wide receiver there on the running back play. And he's able to make that tackle. That was not an easy tackle to make because, as we've seen, Zaquan Bryant's very shifty and he can break some tackles, but he's able to execute and stop that play and have a loss.
There's 2 number 7s listed on the North. Jonathan Cabral, one, we mentioned him. Michael Mankaka, the other one. Regardless of who it is, they're both large. So either one is.
So it's one or the other making the play.
Yeah, and a nice play nevertheless. So back in shotgun, second and very long, 17. He's going to go deep. He's got a man, and it's caught by number 12, and an easy touchdown. What a throw! He dropped it on a dime to James Boggs, and James Boggs has a touchdown.
They call him Bonds, or Boggs, James Boggs. And another impressive play by him for the score. Wow, Trujillo can really throw the ball. I am very impressed with that young man. He's able to see his receiver, catch them in stride, over the defender. What is that, 30-yard pickup for the touchdown? Great play.
30-yard pass. I mean, that could not have been thrown better. And again, Boggs is big on one end, Thomas on the other end. You've got big wide receivers. They're taking advantage of them, airing it out, and it's working. And North doesn't have an answer for it yet. We have now a 12-0 score as they try and convert some extra points here. It's going to be 11 on the outside. He's going to take it, and there's a throw, and that's good too. So a throw from Trujillo over to
extra point. Good.
That was Houston Thomas.
Houston Thomas. They've got that connection going, and that's going to convert. So it is now 13-0.
Completed to number 19 in the corner of the end zone. We do have laundry.
So we'll see if it stands. Looks like there's a penalty marker
flag
down.
on the play. So
Illegal shift on the offense.
It's a dead play. It's an illegal shift on the offense. So scratch that. We will try
we will
again
be
here.
redoing the.
Well, regardless, I gotta say, if you're Trujillo, I'm going to Boggs or Thomas on every single play, and I am not stopping until you stop me. When he's got an arm like that and receivers that can get to the ball, oh, it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely right. You've got your 2 big receivers. It's worked so far. I would keep doing that. A game like this, as we talked about, you're probably going to be pretty conservative with the playbook. I would go with things until they stop working. And so far, South taking advantage there. And they're going to try this again. So backed up a little bit. Trujillo, another pass. He's got a man, this one deep, and it is dropped
Almost caught.
by number 12.
Incomplete.
The throw was a little deep. James Boggs tried to make the catch in the back of the end zone.
That
He has
brings our
generally
score,
good
South
hands.
12,
Unable to come
North
down with that
0.
one. As we mentioned, it was a tough catch to make. He couldn't make it. So instead of 13-0, thanks to the penalty, it's going to be a 12-0 score for the South.
Well, if you've noticed, Trujillo has been favoring the right side of the field. He's been rolling out a lot, creating some chaos in the area to try and guess what's happening. That's not possible unless you have good blocking. And number 63, Brandon Burnham, has been having 2 defenders, 3 defenders in his face. They're putting the biggest guys on him, and he's still able to connect and keep those blocks so that Trujillo can get out of the pocket. So hats off to that young man there, because I think a lot of that drive is attributed to him.
And Trujillo is a good athlete in general. You can see it early on. He's got good wheels, strong arm, able to hit guys on the corner and deep, and pretty good accuracy. So definitely going to be a tough weapon. And if he's getting the blocking that he's been getting so far, it's going to be really tough to stop the South offense.
There you go, Parker Bell back out again.
Parker Bell's still the quarterback. He's in shotgun. He's got a running back there with him. Quick pass over the side. Not a great throw and no gain as a result. So that was a pass throw to number 14. It is caught, but it is not going to be much of anything.
So number 14, we have a number 15. We have 2 number 15s. We have Ethan Holt and Jordan Thompson. So we're going to go ahead and say that it was one of those 2 that's been on the play. He's been on the field a couple of times. Parker Bell, his completions are showing, whether he's completing it to his wide receivers, the defenders. So he's accurate, but he's got to get the ball up the field.
He's got the playbook down pat. You can tell, he's executing very quickly, very good motions and whatnot. Right now, it's just a matter of getting on the page with the receivers and trying to get completions against a very fast South defense. And that looks like it might be a encroachment, possibly false start. We're going to see. It looks like it's on South side. And we're waiting for the call. It is indeed. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Nice play for North there.
Well, if there's anything that the North has done really well, it's get the South to jump off sides. So
yeah,
maybe they should just keep calling all sorts of weird language out there and audibles and move the ball up the field that way.
As I mentioned, I think Parker Bell's pretty smart. He's got a good grasp of this playbook. He's had the South jump now a couple times and he's helping himself. So 2nd and 5 from the 30 upcoming. North coming the line of scrimmage. Bell's going to be out of the shotgun. That seems to be the place of comfort for him. And again, he's got 1 running back with him, and he's got 3 wide. And this is going to be a pump fake. Nice pass to number 8, and it's held on to after a hit. His legs were taken out, but Ethan Sloan comes up with a catch and a first down.
Saquon Bryant was laser targeted on him, but definitely a great hit. But Sloan held on to the ball, and again, showing shades of Julian Edelman.
Sloan, for the record, listed as a running back, so for him to make that catch is pretty impressive. He was in the air, and just basically a missile coming below him takes out his legs. He holds onto the ball and picks up the first. So to the 43, the North goes. 2.5 minutes left in the half. Back into the shotgun. Same exact formation they've had pretty much this entire drive. And this time it's going to be a handoff. And it's going to be a good one, number 6. He has a big hole. Another first down upcoming gain of about 12. Takes them into South territory. Nice hole opened up there. And number 6, Juwan Sandals takes advantage of it for the first down.
David Stout, number 51. Devin Lively, number 52. Wow, what a hole did they create. They both pushed out opposite sides. Defenders moved out to the left and right. That will allow your running back to get through and create some significant damage there.
Juwan Sandals is a big boy, and that hole was big enough for anyone on the field to get through it. Just an absolutely great blocking there by the North offense. And so far, once again, they're rolling, so they're able to find ways to pick up yards. The question is, can they convert here, especially as the first half's winding down. They're 50 to go now. Airplanes flying in the background. There's a handoff back to number 6, and it's going to be a pickup of a couple. Not too much there. 7 and 8 upcoming.
All right. So it wound up being a great tackle by Brandon Burnham there. He's playing both sides of the ball as well. He got through, but Devon Samuels as he was going down, he was stiff-arming 2 defenders in the face. So he just doesn't stop, whether he's being tackled or not. He's constantly on the go, and great talent.
He may just hate grass and dirt. The man does not like being pulled down at all, and we're seeing that repeatedly here. And he's big enough to make an impact when he's throwing stiff arms. And we have again same formation, and again, oh, this time's a fake handoff. Fooled me, didn't fool the South defense. Unbelievable. Kyrie Neverson, great play from the sack. I really thought, I mean, it was a good play action, it just didn't work. And South's going to set up a 3rd and long again because of the blown play.
Kyrie Neverson getting through there, was not fooled at all, like you said, by the play action. And that's what happens, you know, first, second down, it's got to be expected. 24 got in there, Kyrie got in there, and you're looking at now a very long 3rd down for the North offense.
I think what you're seeing here, early on we saw Parker running out of the backfield, right? You know, little scramble plays. I think the South defense has placed a spy basically for every play. So anything play action, it doesn't matter. It seems that the South is sending someone after Parker on every play. Parker Bell, that is, the quarterback for North. And so the play actions have not been effective. And I think that's why you might be seeing the running game work a little bit better for the North, because they're basically sending someone at the quarterback for every play, regardless of what's happening in the backfield.
Well, not only that, but look who your 2 safeties are. Guess what their names are? Boggs and Thomas. So
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. So you're not going to throw the ball downfield on those guys. So you got to make quick plays, and Parker Bell's got to find a way to get 10 yards here.
And it looks like a blitz being shown. It's a handoff number 2. He's going to get past 1 and not past anyone else. That's a great tackle there by 4 and 3 on the south side. And it's going to set up a 4th and long as we're in the final minute here. Does not look like the North's going to be able to get anything going.
Yeah, Locke and Bryan at it again. They've been all over these wide receivers. That was a run play that time, but running's not going to do it on 3rd down. So let's see if they can get the ball over the middle here. And maybe get Boggs and Thomas to flex deep so that they can expose over the middle. We'll see what the North can do on 4th down. I don't know. Not too optimistic here. 13 yards to go.
You have to love these sorts of games. Zaquan Bryan listed as a running back. He had no problem playing linebacker or whatever you want on that play. I mean, just it's as if he's been doing it his entire life. And maybe he has some experience there, but just seeing these guys play all different positions, really refreshing to see, and they're doing it well.
Very well, that's a good point. And a lot of these guys are out on every down. They're not even getting breaks in between both sides of the ball.
It's true, and it is a constant running clock, although the clock is stopped here. Generally, the clock will run regardless of if you're out of bounds or whatever. If there's a timeout, obviously the clock stops. 10-minute quarters, so the game's a little bit shorter than you'd see maybe at the professional level, but nevertheless, these guys are out there on every snap, offense and defense, and getting the job done. So great job by the South defense in particular. Offense has done enough to open up this 12-0 lead. 38 seconds left.
I think so. You can't punt, but you can decide to not go for it on 4th. So that's why the South is back on offense right now.
So North concedes, and the benefit of that is you've now pushed South deep into their own territory. So 38 seconds, very unlikely South can move the ball 88 yards. The ball's at 12. You get basically a certain amount of yards given to you.
Well, we just had
as if there was a
simulated
punt.
punt.
That's what the North selected to do. Smart decision there.
First and 10 South.
Preventing the South from doing anything, and it was about it was 4th and over 10, so it's very unlikely they're going to convert that. So that's what you're seeing here. And what you're also seeing is a timeout. So
Timeout North, 3rd second of the
still
half.
no play. You're still at the 12-yard line. Still 38 seconds to go.
All right. Well, curious to see what happens here. This is going to be an interesting 38 seconds, given that you have 2 wide receivers that can absolutely get down the field in a hurry and make quick grabs. I don't see why, if you are Trujillo, you're not going deep down the sidelines.
I agree. He's got the arm. He's got the receivers. That's what's dangerous about the way the South offense has approached this game is their strength has been deep. It hasn't been these short plays. It hasn't been the running game. It's been the passing game, and it's been thrown deep. So North has You know, they made the smart decision. They're forcing you to go 88 yards basically in 38 seconds, which is very improbable. But if anyone can do it, it's the South Side has shown that they are capable of that here in the first half.
Oh, one of their last drives was only a minute and a half. So, I mean, I definitely am optimistic here.
We'll see how the North sets up on defense. I think that'll go a long way to see where their heads are at. And, you know, nothing too obvious being shown. They're going with a pretty predictable rotation, although it does look like the cornerbacks might be a little pushed back here.
Looks like zone coverage. That's good.
Yeah. So South, an interesting motion play there. And here's the pass defense.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you can double team them, triple team them, you can stack each other. It doesn't matter. Number 19 couldn't make the catch. He does it again. It's a first down, and out of bounds they go. 31 seconds.
Trujillo put it only where his wide receiver could get it. And sure enough, Houston Thomas to the rescue. Catches the ball over two defenders with outstretched hands. And I gotta say, it's impressive to make a catch downfield. It's even more impressive to stretch out your fingertips and make a catch with your fingertips.
No, just a brilliant play. I mean, Trujillo, you really might want to start writing that name down. Some of his throws have been at a much higher level than his age.
Absolutely.
He's made unbelievable throws, and again, I mean, his receivers are making plays in double coverage, you know, with only where they can catch it. It's just been very impressive passing game for the South early. Here's a throw deep, and it's going to be incomplete. That went a little bit too far. Keyshawn Davila trying to make the catch was off his fingertips, and it's going to be incomplete.
Well, you know, you called it out saying that he's got some promise, Trujillo here. That was a bullet. That might have not been on target to his wide receiver, but that was a bullet, and that was about 30 yards from where he threw the ball. So he's got some strength.
Yeah, I mean, at his level, again, you know, he has another 4 or 5 years to develop before he's even, you know, finishing high school, and he's able to throw this thing, you know, 30 to 40 yards downfield accurately. It's very impressive to watch.
Well, we got, let's see, is that Boggs out on the left?
Yeah, watch the left
He's got
side
double
here.
coverage.
You've got your two big receivers, and that's where he's looking to fake it to the right side. So a little dump pass. Number 4, it didn't work. Zaquan Bryant
Little swing
down
pass out to number
the
4,
back
and he's
almost.
tackled
Nice
immediately
play
by
by the
number
North
6
there.
of the
18
North.
seconds left. Going to set up a third down. I thought for sure he was throwing deep to the left side, and then he goes short to the right instead.
Very surprising play there. Maybe hoping to catch the defense off guard with a short pass that gets some good yards. We have both running backs out there as DeJuan Samuels was on the tackle. And that was a hard tackle. So Zaquan Bryant and DeJuan Samuels are getting into it here. Back and forth. They showed some good potential in running and now some good potential in defense. Playing both sides of the ball is not an issue.
Another timeout taken here by the South. And by now you have a perfectly sunny day here in Florida. That's how this works. If you look into the stands, there's someone with an umbrella open. Earlier in the day it was for rain, now it's for sun. And that's how it goes in this state. So we have a beautiful day now, and we are winding down here in the first half of our first game. As we mentioned, 2 other games coming later. We have one at 2:30 that'll feature the juniors,
Be third
one
and
at
about
7
15.
later on tonight that'll feature the seniors. For now, we have 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. They play in one collective game. And we have 18 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and 14 from the 38 upcoming. South on their own end. Second quarter, South leads 12-0.
All right. Well, let's see if the South here can provide as good as coverage as that umbrella does in the 3rd row and allow Trujillo to throw downfield. He's got his 2 main receivers, one in motion.
It's a massive umbrella. Houston is in motion, and he's going to the right side here. This looks like a passing play. Good pressure, though, and brought down number 6. Great play by the North. That is DeJuan Samuels with the tackle, and that should just about do it here in the first half.
Well,
Backing him up
it's
a
a
little bit
good
further.
thing that
4th
DeJuan
down.
Samuels is playing the quarterback and is easily getting in there
Now
because
it's going to be the half, folks.
Houston
And
Thomas
that's the half.
was
South
wide open on the
12-0.
opposite side of the field. I mean, wide open. That would have been an easy score. He even put his hands in the air looking back. Unfortunately, the play was called to the other side of the field, and DeJuan Samuels gobbled him up.
And Trujillo briefly looks to his left. Didn't look like he had any sort of lane. By the time he was going to his right, it didn't look like he had any sort of time. Again, nice play by the North defense. They're going to keep it 12-0 here. No throw on the attempt as it was in a sack. We're going to have a 5-minute half here. And at the end of the first half, as mentioned, South leads 12-0 over the North. here for the second half of the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade football matchup here at New Smyrna Beach Sportsplex, NUC Sports High School Football Showcase. As we had just left off a few minutes ago, South leads
We start
12-0.
the second half, it's gonna be
Start of the
first and
second
10
half.
for the
South
South.
starts with the ball at their own 25. And we're underway. So there's a quick handoff and a quick tackle. And it's going to be a pickup of about a yard. Nice play there by the
Number
North
4, the running
defense.
back, and he's
Picking
met
up on their momentum from
immediately.
the end of
Big
the first
number
half.
61
And
for
it's
the
2nd
North.
and 9 upcoming.
Chandler
Damn, only a
Myers.
yard.
Wow. Did he come out of the gate firing there? Number 4, I think it was Zaquan Bryant on the run.
61
And
is Chandler
Myers was
Myers.
having none of it. He did looked like a body slam suplex, something straight out of the WWE on that play to stop him from getting any momentum.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned, North defense finished the first half on a strong note. They're trying to continue there. And we have, number 61 on the north end. Just massive on the defensive line, Chandler Myers. We're going to have to keep watching him. There's a handoff number 3. He's not going to go towards Myers. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to have a pretty nice game there. Pick up about 8.
Number 3 on the carry.
Quick run there, Solomon Locke on the south side. He is
That is Solomon
he's a
Locke.
freshman. Listed as defensive back. He's a running back there. 3rd and short upcoming.
Gains about 8.
Solomon
Going to
Locke's
get
got
3rd
some
and
wheels.
1.
I think you said that earlier too. He's quick and probably would have gone a lot further if it wasn't for a pretty darn good tackle from Ethan Sloan. We've seen him on the offensive side for the North, and right there, a great tackle to prevent them from getting more than just about 9 yards.
Absolutely. It was a pickup officially of 8. 3rd and 1 upcoming. It's a long one, but a 3rd and short nevertheless. So South lined up. We're trying to see if there is anyone new, and so far there's not. Riley Trujillo is the only quarterback listed on the roster, so you'll likely see him the whole game. That's going to be a handoff and a fumble. It was a run by number 9, Jackson Strickland entering the game. It's a fumble, but it looks like it is recovered by the South. So a first down when all is said and done. The ball actually gained them a couple of yards. It's going to be a 1st and 10 now.
Gotta always be alert, even if you're not the man with the ball. And Makaiva Tuisano on that play saved the South from turning the ball over and having a dangerous threat in their own territory. Instead, they get a first down and they still have the ball.
Heads up play, 1st and 10 from their own 44 now. Out of the shotgun is Trujillo. I'm sorry, he is actually under center. And he's going to throw deep to the right side. It is a short throw. It looks like there might have been interference drawn over there again. Number 19, Houston Thomas. A short throw. He came back for it. He was in a sandwich. We'll see how they rule it.
Looks like it's going to be defensive pass interference. And that's a tough play call too. You have Houston Thomas. He's been doing so well all game today. The defender's showing some frustration there and just saying, you know what, you're not going to catch the ball. So they got in his way. I didn't see too much contact though, but I can see the call from the referee there. So it looks like it's going to be a penalty, and South will gain some yards.
It is indeed a pass interference on the North. I'm going to guess, I couldn't get the numbers, but whoever was in front is probably responsible for the interference, impeding on the route there. And that's what the flag's going to be for. It's going to bring the South to the 41 of the North, so a nice pickup there. 1st down again. And Trujillo, once again, is behind center. He's got 2 back. They're in I form. And it's going to be a handoff to the fullback. It looks like, at least he's playing as a fullback. He's going to try and push and not go anywhere. And a nice stop by the
Number
North.
7 on the carry, and he
Second and
stood up
long.
immediately. Gain of only 1.
All right, so that was Makaiva Tuisano again. He said, you know what, I don't want to just get the ball from a fumble. I want you to give me the ball on offense too right away. And so a few yards there. The North has got to be careful here. They're only down a couple of scores, but if the South is able to punch one in and drain some clock, they're going to be pretty far behind and have some steep hills to climb. And right now, the South is threatening the North territory.
It's a mental challenge. South's been aggressive this entire game. You know they're going to go for it on 4th down, especially in North territory. So that's an extra down. North's going to have to stop them. And we have a 2nd and 8 here. He's going to throw deep. He's got number 12 and incomplete. And North defenders trying to do everything they can to stop James Boggs from catching the ball. But ultimately, it looks like Boggs had a shot.
By number 22 for the
Well,
North.
James Boggs all set to make the grab there and get a nice 25-yard play. I did see a little bit of a push-off there, and I'm shocked the referees didn't call anything for offensive PI. But maybe they're letting them play on the left side of the field, which is good. You got to make that catch. A little bit of stroke of luck for the North. Let's see now if they can get some stops on 3rd and 4th down.
They are fortunate. We've seen Boggs make tougher catches than that in this game. 3rd and 8 upcoming, again, from about the 39 of the North. Trujillo is back behind center. Haven't seen a lot of shotgun open up the second half. We're seeing a lot of I formation, 2 running backs behind him. It's a handoff, and it's going to be number 24, and he is going to be brought down, pickup of about 2, maybe 3 on the play.
I like the tandem of Zaquan Bryan and Kyrie Neverson. They're kind of switching them in and out, giving each other breaks, but they're also keeping the momentum going and they're putting their offense in some good positions here. There's a good pickup on 3rd down. It makes 4th down a lot more manageable now. If you're the South, I think you go right back to Thomas or Boggs, and now that you can throw short to them, you put them on like an out route to the outside towards the sideline and just let them use their height.
Obviously, a pass on the table. Wouldn't surprise me if there was a pitch here, but the way North set up, it is a pitch. There's your handoff to the left, number 3. He's going to try and make it, and he will get a first and then some. He's broken some tackles. He's still on his feet all the way down to the 11-yard line. What a run by Solomon Locke. It looked like the North had a shot in the backfield. He broke those tackles, opened up a hole, and it's a pickup of about 20.
Wow, great run there. And you know, I will say the offensive line did a good job blocking for him, but you just can't tackle Solomon Locke. Yeah, you can smash his temples down, and you can't tackle him. So he's really just bringing the ball forward, putting his team in great position. You can do whatever you want at this point. There's no strategy left for the South here. They can literally run the ball, they can pass the ball. Anything is working for them.
I'm going right back to Locke there. I mean, I think he earned it after that. The pitch was in the back of my mind. That's why I mentioned it. I would have still said that was the unlikely call, but they went right to it and it works. And now
They go right back to him.
Number 3. Nice tackle there to save a touchdown for the moment. Ethan Sloan with a nice tackle there on Locke. Went down low, which seems to be the way that you have to tackle him. And it keeps Locke out of the end zone. It nevertheless will pick up about 7. We'll set up a 2nd and 3.
Inside the 5.
Well, Ethan Sloan has been making some really good tackles for the defense and preventing first downs and touchdowns. He's not using his hands, he's using his body. The South is just so big, so he's just throwing himself at these offensive players and stopping them.
It is a full body workout to stop two or 3 guys on the South offense. I mean, they're just so big. 2nd down, I would go right back to Locke. We'll see what they do. And they go this time number 7.
Oh,
and
helmet's
go flying. Question is, did he get in the end zone? It looked like
the helmet did.
Yeah, the helmet scored a touchdown. I think the South is short. So we're going to have a 3rd down at the 1. And it looks like a first and goal. So they did get the first down. They did not get the touchdown. But at the point of contact, we saw a helmet go flying.
Wow, Kaiva Tuisano. It's like the juggernaut. I really would not want to mess with him. He is a physical force from the fullback position, and it has shown here today.
We haven't seen Trujillo run much. We've seen him run behind the line of scrimmage, looking for a pass. We have not seen him run. I don't think that that's a viable option here. You have about a foot to go.
Who does that remind you of? Marcus Mariota?
Absolutely. Yes. Maybe he watched the game tape before it. Yeah, very similar style to Mariota. Might have as strong of an arm at this point. There's your handoff, and there's a penalty. It's an easy touchdown if it stands by Tuisano, but I don't believe it's going to stand.
Number 7 on the score, however, we have flags.
We're waiting on the penalty. There are 4 minutes left. This has been a very long drive.
Very long drive.
It's taken more than half of the quarter at this point. So if nothing else, the South has done a great job that they moved the ball, across the field. Obviously, it's going to be a false start there. So a 5-yard penalty is going to back it up to 6. You keep the first down. You do not keep the 1-yard line. And we're going to have a 1st and 6, so 1st and goal coming up here.
Well, I'm trying to think of what you do if you're the North here. I think you gotta put pressure up the middle, because that seems to be what the South is exposing right now, is the fact that their linemen are pushing through the front.
Gives North some breathing room. I'd say they had basically no chance at stopping them 3 times from the 1. But from the 6, things get interesting. Trujillo behind center. He's going to hand it off to number 7. and he's going to get to the outside. Tough to see. It's a nice push. I don't think he's in, but it looks like he heads back to the original line of scrimmage, which is the 1 yard line.
Is that Tuisano again?
That was Tuisano again, so he seems to be the running back of choice here down
It's
down
going
at
to
the
be second
goal
and goal
line.
from the 1.
And the ball is now going to be at the 1 yard line to set up a second and goal.
Well, it looks like the defenders are rushing. They're not able to get through the middle. They keep rushing the outside, so they're getting pushed to the side, which is creating those gaps for the running backs. And if you're the North, I'm just crowd the line. Just crowd the line and just push through.
I think you can start to see the fatigue set in north.
Yeah.
You see David Stout bent over there. Chandler Myers is looking like he's resting a little bit. I think it's the fatigue, the time of possession, the constant playing. I think it's starting to catch up a little bit. We're going to see how this results. Second and goal. It's a handoff to 3, Solomon Locke, and he's going to get in easily for the touchdown. So Locke with the touchdown. The big 3 of the South all seem to be scoring in this game. Another touchdown makes it 18-0 South with the extra point pending.
Well, lock on the touchdown. This game is probably now a lock. And I don't think the North has the key to open the lock to stopping this South
Parents,
offense.
please keep in mind that there was a message that went out. Anyone that wants to sign up for next year's game, please do so today at the low price of $100.
South in total,
If interested, please see Coach Thurgood or Coach Solomon at the ticket office before you leave today.
Great play calling on the offense, and they've got Solomon Locke, they've got Houston Thomas, they've got James Boggs, they've got a bunch of guys who are just really tough to stop. When you mix them all together, it results in the score we have here, 18-0, and that is going to be a handoff to Isano, and the extra point's good as well. So it is 20-0 now, as they get 2 points there, and South in a commanding lead.
So on the touchdown play, I think this is pretty interesting. They've had Solomon Locke in the backfield. And on the I formation, you have Tuisano in the fullback position. But on the touchdown play, they actually flip-flopped it. And they had Tuisano as the running back in the backfield for the I, and Solomon Locke was actually in the fullback position. So they could change it up however they want. It doesn't matter.
No, when you have guys that size, they're big enough to play any position that you want to put them in. We've seen running backs spread out as wide receivers. We've seen running backs play fullback. We've seen fullbacks play running back. It just doesn't matter. South is noticeably larger in general roster size, roster-wise. We saw this last year too.
Yep.
It's the
South dominated, right?
Yeah, they won all 3 games last year. Some of them closer than others. We had that one classic game. I want to say it was the junior game that ended on the last play.
I think that was that the senior game?
It was one of them. Yeah, I think last year 2 of them were blowouts. One of them was just a classic back and forth.
You're right.
And so far here we're seeing a blowout early on. North still has some time, but South has really dominated offense and defense. Can't speak to special teams. There are none. But yeah, more of the same. It's just something you see these guys can play year-round. Again, we don't know specifically where the northern players are from, but you've got a weather advantage. Here's a handoff to number 6. He has a size advantage. Big boy Dewan Samuels, again, listed as a defensive lineman. He's playing running back today, and he's doing a pretty good job of it.
Well, guess who made the tackle? Solomon Locke.
Yeah.
So, you said it before, but I don't think I'm giving enough credit to the South's defense here, because the offense has been able to score 3 times. Well, actually, 2 times. There's a pick 6. So the defense has really shown through and prevented the North from accomplishing any consistency. And I haven't seen the ball really in the South's territory at all. And that's what Parker Bell has got to get this offense doing, is just get the ball on the other side of the field.
The North had those two drives in the first half where they moved the ball. They didn't ultimately score it, but they did move it. So far early in the second half, they've been huddled up, but a nice catch there with number 14. Signaling first down, I think he's right. It's a nice pass and catch, and a first down for the North.
So number 14, either Ethan Holm or Jordan Thompson. Great grab as diving to the ground. I think that's like the second diving grab they've had today. And then we had Keyshawn Davila on the tackle.
We've seen some promise. Some promise by the North, but the scoreboard is what it is. It's 20-0 South. Kind of a recurring trend at these showcases, but nevertheless, a good effort so far here by the north side, and they have things rolling a little bit here. Ball on the 39-yard line, and a first
First and
down.
10 for the North on the 39.
First and 10, and Parker is out of the shotgun as he has been throughout the game. He's got trips close to the low end. It looks like he might have got another jump, man. And say what you want about Parker, he's been brilliant as far as getting this south side offside. So looks like we have another one. Should set up a first and short.
Well, if the North was winning this game, Parker Bell would be your MVP purely because of his intellect at the line, withdrawing the defense offsides.
Very smart quarterback.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Go back to that play.
There are plenty of guys on this field who are much larger in terms of size than Parker Bell, but he has really kind of used his mind to try and take away some of those advantages. It's worked decently. So he's back out of the shotgun. You have number 2, Sincere Thomas on the low end. He's spread wide. It's gonna be it's gonna be a fake handoff. Looks like it is a handoff. Man, that was very confusing and ultimately will result in about a yard. Actually lost a 4, I should say. So almost back to the original line of scrimmage. So looks like it was a handoff and then kind of going around in a circle there, not going anywhere.
Well, that was Cole Semien on the stuff there. A little bit of added help by Kyrie Neverson, but wow, Cole broke through the hole and just would not let go of the running back there. Nice follow-up with that.
And this is what's been plaguing the North offense. They're able to move the ball, but it seems like once every drive they just have a major loss, and it kind of takes them out of the drive. Now this was they were already on 1st and 4 or whatever, so it's a 2nd and 9.
There you go.
There's a handoff. That's going to work. So just forget everything about that last play. It's a race here with nice one. And once again, that is Dewan Samuels running it, and it's a first down for the North as they cross into South territory.
Well, if you let the lineman, Stout Lively, just block and the running back falls off the middle, I mean, that's been there all day. A lot of the pressure from the South has been from the outside. So if they can just keep blocking through the front and use that momentum, I mean, that was a gigantic hole, almost as big as the one we saw from the South earlier, Zach O'Brien took advantage of. And so if they can keep the offensive line gelling like they are right now, and Parker Bell can draw some couple of offsides, we might see a score here as we switch to, looks like the 4th quarter.
3rd quarter has ended. We are to start the 4th quarter. It's the South 20, North 0. And you bring up an interesting point. I mean, you think rationally about how the offenses and defenses are set up when North is on offense. They don't have very large receivers. They don't have a very large quarterback. South has very large cornerbacks. But North does have those big linemen and a big running back. So the logical end would be, North should try and develop the power running game. It's a little late now. You have 3 quarters down. But this reminds me a lot of if you watch, at the NFL level, the Giants early on in the season, they would be down by a lot of points and going to their running game. It's the only thing that worked. And you might see a similar strategy here from the North. It's obviously time consuming. You may not be able to make up all 20 points, but if they're going to move the ball the best, the running game's really been their bread and butter.
It's true. We'll run, offsides, maybe a pass. I think what's tough is I was thinking about this earlier, is Parker Bell has been able to get some distance to make some throws recently, but his receivers have not been able to get open. And it's probably the fact that they're staring across the way at Thomas and Boggs. Yeah. And so that's probably why it's been tough for Bell to get these guys open. So hey, to your point, if the running game's working, keep doing it. You got Samuels in the backfield now.
See what happens. And they go back to Samuels, who goes through a hole. I mean, he's been very good at finding open space. Now, he's not going to pick up anything there to stop him at the line of scrimmage, but just to get back to the line of scrimmage, he once again found a hole and exploited it.
Yeah, that's just the offensive line breaking down there, and that plus the fact that Cole Semien again got right through. A little bit shaken up on the play, but he says he's good. He waves off the substitution. Man still wants to play. He's got heart and soul, and he's showing it out there.
Absolutely. And that's the name of the game ultimately. The score is not
no game
going
on the
to be
play.
remembered I think long term by anyone on the field, but getting to showcase their talents is. We've already been approached by some people who, they've told us that there are scouts who are probably going to see the tape of this game. And that's what's really going to matter at the end of the day here in the NUC Showcase, not really the final score as much as how you performed in the game. and we've seen a lot of heart on the field today. Speaking of, there is a handoff.
Don't agree with that call.
It's going to be a gain of 1. I mean, it's basically the same
Number
call
2
as the
on the
last
carry.
one. Last
Gain
one
of
didn't work.
2.
This one doesn't either. You have a third ball.
Tackle by number
Sincere Thomas on the
17.
run there, and that's not
Third
his
and 8.
fault. I mean, that was a clogged line up front, and you're down 3 scores, second down. The running game has been working, but 2 runs in a row, and it's not going to fool anyone.
Absolutely, and we had mentioned the running game, and it seems North has kind of taken my advice, although you have to mix it up.
Yes.
You still have to develop different types of runs. And now out of the shotgun, we'll see what this one is. It's going to be a 3rd and 8.
Look at
nice
that.
pass over number 8, right on the slant. Nice little throw and catch there.
Pass
So
complete
Parker
to
Bell
number
finds
8.
Ethan Sloan.
In
for a first
parentheses,
down.
Julian
Ethan
Edelman.
Sloan.
Juliet, Ethan Edelman Sloan.
There
with
you
a
go.
nice catch there. And we have a
Picking
first
that
down.
off the side,
You know,
and that's a
he's
first down
very
for the
versatile,
first and 10.
and he has very good feet, it looks like. I mean, he's able to kind of stop on the dime and change his route, and it's given the South a little bit of some fits when they've been able to showcase him.
It's a great point. That was a slant over the middle, and the acceleration after stopping has been fantastic from Ethan Sloan.
Parker Bell in the shotgun, no surprise there. He's going to look to his right, and he's going to look for man, and it's an incomplete pass. That was probably a
Pass
catchable
incomplete.
ball. It wasn't the
Intended for
best
number
throw
14,
one,
broken up by
but
number
it
1
also
South.
wasn't, impossible to make a play there. Either way, incomplete. We're going to have a second down upcoming.
Well, it was a great read by Parker Bell there, and probably the coach for calling that play call. It's with the slant over the middle. If you noticed, the South is letting the clock do the work for them, and they're playing deep zone, even with the end zone there. So take advantage of it, throw a slant route. Unfortunately, couldn't come through with the pass and catch.
Now, I'm very curious. There is number 5 on the north side, Tim Wallace. I mean, he might be half the size of other people on the field right now. But generally, when we see that, there is some sort of skill set that people like that have. I'm very curious to watch what he can do here. He's on the top of the screen there. They're going to go the other way, though. It's going to be a pass over number 6. And as is the calling
The
for
rivalry.
Dewan Samuels, he has no problem throwing a helmet at anyone who wants to tackle him. That time, Solomon Locke was the recipient.
Pass
Oh
complete
man,
to
it's been
number
great
6.
to watch these guys mix it up, and yeah, Solomon
Gain a
Locke
couple.
leveling
Third down and 6.
Samuels there, and Samuels just gets right back up, not unfazed.
We'll have to find out if they know each other. That was if I'm getting hit in the face like that, I'm not sure that I'm shaking the other person's hand, but good sportsmanship all around. And we have a 3rd and 6 upcoming from the 13. So North's been able to drive. They're deep in South territory now in the red zone.
Wallace was open on that last play, by the way.
Wallace is still on the field. I'm waiting for him here. Yeah, I think he's going to be involved somehow, and I'm going to guess he's extremely fast to be in a game like this at that size. So we're going to
Parker Bell at it again.
Parker Bell doing Parker Bell things. Going to draw the South off sides again, it looks like. We'll wait to see, make sure it's not a false start.
Oh, yep.
And it is indeed on the South, so that's going to, he's only helping matters. He's going to push it deep.
Not
Now
yet
you've
south,
got a
he's
3rd
gonna make
and
it
1.
3rd and 1.
And as we mentioned, North has a few different running backs they can go to here to convert this, and then you're probably looking at a 1st and goal. So good drive so far.
Well, Parker Bell channeling his classical conditioning from Pavlov there as he's ringing the bell, and the defense draws offsides. So he keeps working between Bell's offsides calls, running plays on 1st down, and Sloan's acceleration. I'm surprised this offense doesn't have more points on the board.
I am too. I mean, they've shown signs of being able to move the ball, exploit a little bit of the South's defense there. Bell back on the field. He stepped off for a moment. Wallace is coming back on the field as well. He seemed confused, and he still seems confused. So something going awry here with the North offense. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 1. And it's a push and trying. He might have gotten it with the stretch there. That's a great attempt by Dewan Samuels. He had been penetrated behind the line, but with the reach, it looks like he has a 1st down.
1st and goal North.
And he
There
does.
you go.
Great
First
attempt.
goal.
I mean, that's a great attempt to get that 1st down.
Stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching. Stretching across the 1st down marker. That's great. Now, I will say that if they score a touchdown, there's a moral victory with it, and it's definitely a good chain of momentum. But you have the clock working against you with only 6 minutes left. And this has been a very long drive. It's been about, 4 or 5 minutes so far? So I'd like to see a nice little quick out route to the pylon from their wide receiver. And now Parker Bell is split out. We saw this earlier.
That looks like some sort of wild card formation here. Bell is a receiver. I mean, we saw a lot of substitutions. And it's a jump pass. That was fun. It's not going to get a touchdown. It's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards, though. So they had Parker Bell lined up deep after about 4 substitutions. So keep in mind, there's only about 5 players on the bench to begin with. And it was Dewan Samuels lined up as the quarterback. He gets it, stops, and a little Tim Tebow-esque jump pass here in the state of Florida with a catch. Now, the pass wasn't into the end zone, though, and the catch was made, but it is an immediate stop. So the ball's at about the 2. It's a pick up of 4.
And that was Adam Philogene on the reception there. I don't think we've seen him today yet, so it was a good heads-up play. It gets them closer, though. Hey, they're inching.
They're a little closer, and Parker, it's going to go again. Yeah, that's the break.
There you go.
That was, once again, Dewan Samuels was set up, and I think at this point, North's saying, look, he's going to throw tackles from the offense. He's going to throw he's going to throw stiff arms. Let's just give him the ball. They do. It works. And it is a touchdown for the North. So after a long day of effort, Dewan Samuels with the touchdown, North on the scoreboard. This game not quite over yet. 4:59 to go in the fourth quarter. It is 20-6 pending this extra point attempt.
Chandler Myers and Michael Mankaka looking like the Trojan wall there as they just barreled through and didn't let anyone in to get Samuels. And that's what really created that touchdown. There was a nice opening, and Samuels took advantage of it, and they got on the board.
It's supposed to be a part of the playbook like they were joking around about in practice. Now they're opening it up and it's working. And there's a little pass once again. You can guess who. That is going to be, once again, Dewan Samuels. And once again, he's going to stretch. But he is short. So no extra point. 20-6 South. Still obviously, it doesn't change too much as far as what the North needs. And that's 2 touchdowns.
Well, James Boggs was tired of not getting the ball for about 20 plays, so he wanted to do something out there, and he was able to prevent the extra couple of points from the South there. So 20-6 is your score now, Vince. There's 5 minutes left. What are the chances that the North could come back here?
Well, it's going to be interesting here what the South does, because their passing game has worked. I'm generally, especially when you're up by 14, I'm generally against straying from what's worked throughout the game. But the downside, of course, of the passing game is if it's incomplete, the clock's not going to run. So it's going to be interesting. I think for this drive, South is going to stay with what's worked. They're going to try the passing game because you do have that second touchdown in your back pocket. But hopefully the North here, what they're going to need to do is get a quick 4 and out, and then get another touchdown, obviously. And then after that, it gets a little tighter. But that's what I'm guessing the game plan. I don't think the South's going to change much of anything. And we saw that,
especially with scouts here.
Yeah, and we saw that drive early, that ate up most of the third quarter. They're able to move the ball. Maybe they're not going to score, but it's a very steep hill for the North to climb, even with that touchdown.
I wouldn't be surprised if Trujillo sends Houston Thomas off to the races, especially because if you're the North here, they may go man to try and create some pressure and get a sack on the quarterback. But it's going to be interesting here, and if Houston Thomas does get that man-on-man coverage, one move is downfield.
25.
Absolutely. For those of you that the South has set up, Trujillo is in the shotgun, which we have not seen a lot of. He's going to hand it off to number 8 on an end around, and there's a flag down on the play, and that's a great time. He just got thrown off the field, basically. And it's going to be a loss on the play, pending the flag, and the flag's going to also be against the South. So this is just a bad play all around.
Well, so we have 2 number 7, so that was either Cabral or Mankaka. Whoever it was, wow. He pretty much just launched the South running back into the stands there. That was incredible.
Really strong tackle. Great play by the North, and on top of it, you had the flag.
Declined it.
It is a declined penalty thanks to the great play, and that makes sense because you want the down burned. You need the ball back.
Correct.
So stopping behind the line of scrimmage, that works. And now you have a down that has been burned, that also works. 4:40 to go here. South again out of the shotgun, so they're not even pretending like they're going to run. And you have number 8 in motion again, so this, could be another play involving that. Instead, he's going to look to the right side, he's going to try and sneak out. Now he's going to throw deep. Wasn't that deep. It was intended for Houston Thomas to be complete. So the North defense so far doing a great job. They're number 3rd and 14 upcoming.
Third down and
4:26 to
14.
go.
Man, anytime I see Trujillo look over at the side of the field, I start to get excited.
Yeah, like the little adrenaline there.
Houston Thomas just, there's 3 people around him, and he's still the only one that can make the catch. I think what was really cool about watching the South team so far today is Trujillo, he's been able to make moves within a crashing pocket and do something with his legs. And like we called that earlier, shades of Marcus Mariota, who is a former alumni of the NUC games. But that's what's going to be a big positive about this guy as he grows.
And actually, as a quick NFL update, Mariota will not play today against the Colts in the winner-take-all playoff spot game because of nerve damage. So he will not play at the NFL level. But you're right. I mean, Trujillo, as we've talked about his arm and we've talked about his legs, but he is very powerful with legs as well. That pass
Pass is
was
incomplete.
huge. That is huge for the North End. It was a screen of sorts intended for Houston Thomas and dropped.
4th down.
Incomplete. You have 4th and 14, and we'll see if the South wants to flip the field here. I would think that they would.
I would absolutely flip the field if you're the South. I'd be surprised if they're going for it again. What is it? 4th and 14? Wow.
4th and 14. They haven't indicated that they aren't going to go for it. So it looks like they're going to go for it 4th and 14, playing with, I guess, thinking they're playing with house money. There's still 4:22 left in the game, so this drive has not taken very long at all. About 40 seconds this drive's been. So we'll see here. I mean, if you convert, obviously that's a major dagger, but in 4th and 14, it's very unlikely. And if you don't convert, North has the ball inside, basically at the red zone. They're at the 20.
Yeah, if they convert this first down, that's a Solomon lock on this game. But if they don't, then the North is looking really pretty.
And it may be Solomon Locke who converts it. So let's see what happens here. 6 in motion. Trujillo's going to go and not really sure
Pass
what the
incomplete.
thinking was.
Broken up by
Not only
Thomas,
was the North
number
ready
2
for
for the
the exact
North.
same play to Houston Thomas, but Houston Thomas again can't make the catch.
Turned over on
Turnover
down. 1st
and not to
and
mention it's
10
4th and
North,
14,
deep
and they're throwing
inside the
behind
South
line of
territory.
scrimmage. So not a lot of sense there.
Dear South, I'm not going to let you convert this first down. Sincerely, Sincere Thomas. Great play by the defender there to get in front of the ball and make it impossible for Houston Thomas to do anything with it.
The North got exactly what they needed. It's a 4 and out, and now they have the ball at the 21. So, call it
quick
what you
score.
will. Yeah, but a quick score here, and then all of a sudden things get very interesting.
Well, how much time? Only about a minute and change went off the clock from that drive, so not that much. So if they get a quick score here, get back on defense and then another stop, this would be a really interesting game.
It is, like I said, exactly what the North needed. Now they have the ball. Parker Bell is back into the shotgun, and this play is going to be 1 dead. And was it's no, this time
Flag
not
before the
Parker
snap.
special. It is a false start on the offense, so that's going to hurt the North. Instead of a 1st and 15, ball's going to be backed up to about the 26.
I would really like to see a fade to Ethan Sloan here. I think his wheels can get him
False
there.
start on the
And way
North.
the safeties are playing, they're kind of close.
5-yard
to the
penalty, still 1st down.
I think they can do some damage.
Well, we've talked about Locke and Boggs and Thomas on the south side. We haven't really spoken too much about the North weapons, but there have been some. Dewan Samuels we've mentioned. Cabral was involved earlier. Here's a fade pass.
Wow!
And a great
Unbelievable!
Over the top.
Exactly what the
Pass
North
complete
needed.
to number
And it's a
14.
one-score game.
And that is touchdown
to number
North.
14, and it's a touchdown for the North.
Wow! I thought for sure that Parker Bell put that ball where no
And
one
number
could catch it. But
14,
number 14,
Michael Mankaka.
out of nowhere, Ethan Holt or Jordan Thompson, whichever one of you caught that ball, I am incredibly impressed. He caught it and trickled into the end zone, and just like that, the North is back in this game. They do need these extra points here because they are down 8. Keep that in mind.
To give you an idea of how tough a play that was, the ball was thrown and the receiver wasn't facing the end zone, so he had to catch it, avoid a tackle, and then turn around and get another few yards to get in the end zone. Great play all around Much needed. Here's the extra point attempt, and that's easy.
That's good.
Right to number 2. So all of a sudden, we have a ball game
Extra
here.
point.
Blowout.
Good.
Well, this is a one-score game. There's still 4:10 to go.
There's a lot of time
That's
left.
So the
complete
North
Thomas,
has
number
scored
2.
2 touchdowns now in under
That
2 minutes.
gives us a little bit
And all of a
further
sudden
with
it's
4 minutes
20
and
to
6 seconds to
14.
go.
And no
South
longer
20.
do you need the extra
North
point if you're going to
14.
get another touchdown because they passed it there for the 2 points.
Great call. You're tied at least, and so the North has all the momentum right now. The South, maybe it's fatigue setting in. They have a lot of players playing on both sides of the ball. They've been involved in a lot of action, especially the offensive line, and we saw the offensive line break down in the last drive. It's going to be interesting here, Vince. This is super awesome.
Can these guys, can Juwan Samuels,
Gonna be
at
first
times,
and 10 for the
Thomas,
South
can
from
these guys step
25.
up, Jonathan Cabral maybe will get involved again. Can these guys step in and finish the job? They have to stop South on offense first, but if they do, they're going to have a shot here. And, they've been moving the ball at ease these last 2 drives. It's been basically a disaster in the second half of the fourth quarter for the South. And all of a sudden, what was a 20-point lead is down to 6. Here we go behind center Trujillo. He's going to hand it off. And it's going to be right off the middle. Great run. That's a good start for South. First down. Hand off right to Solomon Block.
Philippine on the
First
run.
down. South not messing around now. They go to the screen pass. They're on right to the running game.
Wow, what holes were created from the offensive line there.
That's enough for
Like,
South.
he
First
darted
down.
right through like a speeding bullet train. That was incredible. And Solomon Locke is taking this game into his hands.
Locke has a great first step, doesn't he?
Does, absolutely.
He explodes from the second he has the ball. Much needed there as he picks up. Ball is now at the 38 of the South side. So South's still on their side of the field. You have 3 back here. And Timmy Trujillo, fake handoff, he's going to hand off instead number 4. So he faked it one way, goes instead to Zaquan Bryan, who trips. And not much there, he gets back to the line of scrimmage, second down.
Do they have timeouts?
I was just going to say, I don't know exactly what the timeout situation is.
Although one has been
Timeout
called.
North.
Apparently they exist, because North just used one. We don't
There's
know
no
how many
gain on
they
the
have
last play. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
but that is a factor, and there's no 2-minute warning either, so that's not going to stop the clock. Still 3:30 to go, second down. So, no matter what type of football you're playing at any level, there's still enough time on the clock for North to get the ball as long as South doesn't get another first down. If they do get another first down, then we start to wonder exactly what the situation is, because again, we don't know the timeout situation.
They didn't give the South any positive yards there. I'm kind of shocked by that. I thought for sure, even though Bryan got tripped up, he got a couple yards out of that play.
I think they handed off to him behind line of scrimmage. By the time he tripped and moved forward, he fell at the line of scrimmage. But yeah, the ball's up to 38, 2nd and 10 upcoming.
All right, you see a couple of North players a little slow to get to their positions. They got to find a way to keep the energy levels up because they
Second
gotta
down
make
and
some
10.
stops here.
I have half a mind to think if we're happy that it's next now it's starting to get a little hot, and you've been playing all game. There's a handoff, and it's number 7. It's a nice run over the line.
Number 7 for the South.
And there's a gain there. That was to Asano. It seems to be the finisher of sorts for the South offense. He'll get a gain
Timeout
about
North.
4. Should set up a 3rd and about 6.
Be about 3rd down.
All right,
and
here we go.
6.
Now again, you called it out earlier, and this South team is not shy on 4th down. So if they are faced with a 4th down scenario here, you can count on the South to go for it, even if it's 4th and 15 or whatever it's going to be. But 3rd and 6, I think Trujillo here is going to throw the ball.
I agree with you. I would expect this to be a throw because you don't, like I said, they showed their hand last drive. We know they're going for it on 4th down. If they did it from 4th and 14 from their own 21, they're definitely doing it 4th and, presumably shorter from the 42. But at the same time, there's still too much time. So, you have to go back to the passing game here. I think they were hoping that maybe the running game could end it on its own. That's been proven that's probably not going to happen. So, go to the pass, go to one of your big receivers who worked all of that first half for you, get the first down, and then you can start running the game. And who knows how much time is left if the North gets the ball back.
Good point. I want to see some pressure here from the defense. See if they can create a turnover possibly on 3rd down.
Trujillo behind center. They're an eye for him. There's 2 running backs back, and it's going to be a handoff. and it's going to be a good one. He's got a first down. That was a great play. Great blocking all around. Number 9 with the play. So they proved both of us wrong. Jackson Strickland gets the handoff and gets the first down. South doing it their way, and they rise to the occasion.
There are just too many weapons on the South here. I mean, Strickland.
That carry for the South was enough for a first down, 1st and 10.
That is a 15-yard carry.
Running an option play short. That's going to be for Thomas. It's off the field. No chance to catch there. So
Pass
a
incomplete.
rare
Out of bounds.
misfire there from Trujillo. It looks like here in the final few minutes, South is going to sort of an RPO type offense. They've got 3 running backs back there with Trujillo, and they're basically telling the North, you know, you're not going to be able to jump anything. Like, you're just going to have to see how this plays out. It worked for that first down. It did not work on that passing play, but mainly because the ball was thrown out of bounds. So 2nd and 10 upcoming from the 48.
So interesting. They run on 3rd down and then pass on 1st, which is atypical. But I mean, you gotta give credit to the offensive coordinator here for the South because they've been winning it at those calls all day today.
Yeah, I mean, I think trying to go with random, trying to throw North off a little bit. There's going to be a handoff up the middle. No, great tackle. Handoff to number 7 to
Number
Asano.
7 on the carry. He's wrapped up and right to the
gotten a
ground by
big
number
play, and then
61.
he's immediately
Timeout.
just eaten up.
North.
Looks like it was
Could be their
61.
3rd
Was
and
it
final of
Chandler
the
Myers?
half.
Yeah, great play by Myers there to save a first down, and at this point in the game, maybe save the game. 3rd and 7 now. It was a pickup of 3, and it's going to be ball at the 45 of the North for the South. 3:04 still showing on the scoreboard.
I will say that every time Tuisano has the ball, there's a level of ferocity and aggressiveness that I love. And he just looks like he doesn't care who's in his way. He's running through them, and he has been pumped this entire game. On the touchdown play, he was jacked. I think that's a really good, underrated motivator for your team when you just gave up 2 scores to keep your offense in this game.
It has been a group of nasty boys as far as the running backs go on the north and south side. I mean, we've seen aggressive running from Juan Samuels. We've seen it from Solomon Locke. We're seeing it now from Tuisano. Just really tough running, and it made a difference. That was a timeout, by the way, by the North. So at most, they have 1 timeout left if they have one. Again, we don't have access to how many timeouts there are, but we know they've called 2 on this drive. 3:04 clock stop, 3rd and 7. This is a big play here, game on the line. And he's got, again, the RPO type setup, 3 running backs back there with Trujillo. He's going to hand it off, and that's going to be a broken tackle, a few broken tackles, a first down, a great play. And that was Zaquan Bryan, another tough running back, and he picks up the
Number
first
4,
down there,
Bryan
and that
on the carry.
might just about do
And
it.
that gets through for
That's
the
tough.
South.
That was a
First
broken
down.
tackle that could have been very clutch for the North there. But as we've seen from the first few plays of today, Bryan has some nifty footwork and will not go down easily. And he broke about 3 tackles there for a nice pickup. He motioned to the first down, and that's exactly what the South got. And now they're sitting really pretty as the clock has been winding down to about 2.5 minutes.
Not much North can do to stop it. Mathematically, they can still get the ball back, but at this juncture, things are looking bleak because they've not been able to stop the South from getting first downs, and now they're not going to stop them. Oh, it's a fumble!
Oh my gosh!
She got stricken. North has the fumble.
Unbelievable!
The ball is ripped out, and number 3 for the South hands, and it is recovered by number 2, Thomas for the North.
Recovered by the North, and they have the ball with 2:19 to go.
Dear the South,
and
I
10
wrote you
North.
recently, and I'm writing you
With
again.
2:19
I'm
to
going to
play.
take the ball back myself. Sincerely, Sincere
Unbelievable.
Thomas.
Sincere Thomas with the play of the game to this point, as he has given the North life. This is one of the better comebacks we've seen.
Now he is a little hobbled after that play.
Reminder, football fans,
Hope he's
we
okay.
have another
but man,
game at
is he
2:30
really
this
just
afternoon. Sophomores
between
and
Sincere
juniors.
Thomas and Ethan Sloan, this North offense has looked really good, and their defense is starting to step it up really well. A clutch turnover near the end of the game. They got 2 minutes to work with, almost 70 yards to go.
Turnovers plagued the North in the first half. Couple of interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. This time it's South with the big turnover. I think that's their first.
Oh,
of the
zone
game.
coverage. They got
And
3
it's out of the
receivers.
shotgun, 3 receivers. He's going to go to screenplay number 6. He's going to be caught. He's going to try to shimmy for a couple of moves. Not going to get much, and he's brought down. Pick up that was going to possibly 2.
Pass complete to number 8, gains 2, second down.
Does the clock stop at the first down?
It does. and then it resumes. So it stops so the chains can move. Once that happens, it resumes. So they'll have enough time to get in formation. Chaos on the sidelines. Both coaches trying to get their players ready. Clock still running.
Too much time.
1:50 to go. This is taking a lot of time. Parker back on the field. I'm not sure they have a 2-minute drill, and that's part of the problem. And he's out of the shotgun. 1:39 by the time the ball is snapped, and he's going to be stuck. South making some big plays there. That's a sack, and now you're in a really dire situation if you're the North. Not only because of the clock, which is under a minute and a half, but now because of the down.
QB sack.
Well,
Looks
Billy
like number
Hendricks
70 coming up for the
came out
South.
of nowhere and just destroyed. Not only did he get to
Lost of about 5,
he got to
third
the
down.
whole offensive line as well. And now, after shaving about 50 seconds off the clock, this is not looking good for the North.
3rd and 15, out of the shotgun again. They're going to need better blocking if Parker's going to have a chance. He had no chance at last drive. This is a slant play, caught, bobbled but caught by number 27.
27
So
for
that
the
was
North on
Corey
the catch.
Weber. We haven't heard much from him. Listed as a linebacker.
Corey
Finally
Weber.
landed there. It's the final minute.
Fourth
It's also
down.
going to be a 4th down. So now you're in a situation where you need to get the first, but the clock is against you. 1st down will stop the clock momentarily and keep the game alive. It's a bad snap, but it's nicely played by Parker. He's going to be looking, and he's going to be brought down. That's going to do it. Looks like the North is signaling for some sort of penalty, but Parker Bell was kind of in trouble the entire time.
Number 70,
Could not get a play.
Simeon
Pass line of
with the
scrimmage.
sack.
It's a turnover on downs. There are
That's
no
gonna be
flags
turned over
down.
on
And the
down.
South is going to walk away with a victory here in what turned out to be a tight game and a close finish.
Wow. What a play by Cole Semien to just break through the line, create chaos. There was already chaos in the beginning, it looked like, but they just get in, kill the momentum, shut this game down between him and the rest of the defensive line. Great job today by the South defense to close it out.
Doesn't do it the final four.
That is the final, folks.
Your
Final score.
in the first of 3
North
games
14,
today between
South
the
20.
7th, 8th, and 9th
Let's give
grade
these young men a
North
round of applause.
South 20, North 14.
We're getting a good start
South
off to
winner
today's
took this
game.
First one coming up at 2:30 in a couple of hours here is going
Again,
to
our
be
next game will be at 2:30 this
junior
afternoon.
game. So just 11th graders playing each other.
Sophomores
That's
and
going to come at
juniors.
2:30. This game was an 11 a.m. start.
Make sure you
and it's
stick around.
20-14 final. We will be back in a couple of hours.
Parents, head down to the
South
field.
20,
Coach
North 14,
Sturgill
your final
has
score.
a few words of wisdom.
Did he send the second one? Did he send the second one? Roster. Oh, it's all of them.
Here. Usually Mariota's out tonight. That sucks.
It's crazy. He's got a serious nerve damage, right? To be out in a do or die game against a division rival. It's just crazy.
When did that take place?
I got a message during the games.
Risk of permanent damage.
Really?
Who's the backup?
It's not a good thing. I have to come back and study this junior roster like a playbook. That's like twice the size.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's go find food.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see who the backup is real quick.
Blaine
Blaine
Gabbert.
Gabbert.
Oh, that's it. That's a wrap. Blaine Gabbert
Is
is
he
not
from
beating
Missouri?
Andrew Luck in a,
I know.
I don't know this team. I remember him in college. I just can't remember who he played.
Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
Was it Missouri? Who was Texas Tech? Chase Daniel was Missouri.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think Gabbert played for,
Probably
I don't even remember now.
Yeah, me either. I don't know. But,
I mean, he was probably fairly inconsistent.
No, it was Missouri.
It was?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
so you
Oh yeah, you filled it.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm one of the people with a press box pass. Is it too early to come in?
No, I don't see why not. What are you going to be doing?
I'm gonna sit, play with my phone,
Oh,
stay out of the sun.
I don't blame you there.
I'm James.
James, I'm Chuck. I'm just a freelancer. I do video for us today.
Oh yeah, you're doing the DVDs?
No, that's going to be handled by, what is it, Youth Sports Rewind, I guess it is the name of the company.
Okay, good.
This is going out live on YouTube.
Oh, you're doing the YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm doing it for the company. I'm just, hired help.
Oh sure. Yeah, I'm just a dad. Yeah, my son's a punter, so I'm hoping, to get 3 or 4 nice plays during the game.
That'd be nice. Is it your son setting up here?
Yeah, he's over on the other side.
Oh, on
He's
the other side.
on the north team. Yeah, we're from Las Vegas, so it's a little
Really?
bit.
I was there a week or so. Yeah, a little over a week ago for about 4 days. First time I ever been out there.
Pre-Christmas. Okay.
Yeah.
You probably see-
Pre-Christmas, because then this past week I took a family to Virginia for 5 days. Got pneumonia almost.
Oof.
Just
Yeah.
getting over it. But yeah, it was the first time I was in Vegas. It was pretty neat. I like the old strip better than, and I didn't know there was an old strip, to tell you the truth, But that reminded me of the old movies, the Golden Nugget and all that. And everybody was friendly there. They had a lot of entertainment going on the street. And
It's probably the best time of year to go. The weather's acceptable and
Mhm.
people are generally nice. And,
yeah, it was nice.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I couldn't get used to gravel in the front yards though. I'm used to grass,
Yeah, the desert life takes a little bit of adjustment.
Yeah, I guess it would, yeah.
But yeah, we're used to it. Good schools. He goes to a private school out there in the suburbs.
Really?
Yeah. Living in the suburbs, you don't feel the strip or any of that. It's sort
Yeah.
of, all the locals are sort of
Yeah.
out there. So it's a nice place, a nice safe place, good sports environment,
Mm-hmm.
good school. So we're happy.
We stayed at the MGM Grand.
Yeah.
It was nice.
That's a big one. Yeah, you can get lost in there for days.
Oh, Lord.
They design it like that.
Yeah, we were on the, I think it was the 7th or 8th floor, and I came off, and then you got 4 or 5 corridors, and it went to our corridor, and it went on and on, and I went, holy cow, it's like in a movie.
Yeah. So I guess all the casinos follow the same logic. They try to keep you in there as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of help. There's no clocks. Not a lot of signs to say go here and there. They just try to keep you there and keep the restaurants close to the tables. Everything's
Mm-hmm.
about the money.
It was the first time I ever ordered a double. I had double Irish whiskey and a little ginger on the rocks. It was $20. I went, holy shit.
Yeah, if you're not at the tables, the bar doesn't have any mercy.
No.
Yeah. Were you here for the first game?
Yeah, I'm doing all 3.
Oh, okay.
There's supposed to be 4, but I guess one got canceled.
Yeah, last minute cancellations with the younger crowd, so the 9th graders got slapped in with them. It was supposed to be 9th and 10th grade. Now it's 10th and 11th grade, which I'm happy for. I would prefer my son play with the older kids.
Yeah.
But was it a good game?
Yeah, actually it was. It was 20-0 going into the, I think it was the 4th quarter, and the North came back and scored 2 touchdowns, and there's still about 4 or 5 minutes left to go in the game, but the South held them off.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Little bit like Alabama and Oklahoma last night. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. I'm gonna park myself in a vacant spot if there is one over here.
It might be better there. There's somebody
Was it?
in here. Well, I think there's another one on the other side too. So
Let's just check if there's no bags or anything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have internet access here by any chance, do they?
I believe so. Yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, I was just on the internet. Yeah.
Is it open?
Yeah, I didn't have to do anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super.
caller?
No, sir. I'm just the video guy.
Oh, okay.
You one of the announcers?
Yeah,
I think they went grab a bite.
I got you. Well, I'm leaving that for him.
Okay, I will tell them.
No problem. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Didn't do much, but you're welcome.
Well, you were nice and courteous.
Oh.
I can't do much better than that.
Thank you.
No problem.